Hello, welcome back to the Reading Mama. Today I thought I'd share my June TBR pile of possibilities, whatever you want to call it. It's ambitious and it probably isn't all going to get read, but let's see what I'm looking at. I'm going to grab my notebook. Little one is joining me today because we are fussy, which is part of the hindrance of reading, especially some of these big books. So I have a couple of different challenges that I'm looking at doing this June. I'm going to probably not continue a year with Maud for this month. Blue Castle just doesn't sound that exciting to me, and so I'm not going to join that one this year, but I am going to do Chantel at Chantel Reads All Day's other Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. Her prompt for June is Bird, and so I'm going to read Hunger Games. I'm trying to finish read the series again, and so this one has a bird on the cover, so that counts. Other challenges I'm going to do, I'm going to continue my 5x5 with School Sisters. I'm going to hope to read Risen Motherhood, which is just kind of biblical Christian motherhood encouragement, and then also How to Raise a Wild Child, which I have coming in the mail. And How to Raise a Wild Child is using art and nature to kind of raise your children, I guess, a little bit better. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know. It's been on my TBR for a long time, so I'm hoping that actually is supposed to be in the mail like this week. So hopefully I will get to that. And then my own personal challenge is to read 40 books by 40 before I turn 40 this September. I've already read 40 books this year, so it's not a 40 anything. I did have 40 specific books, and it leaned heavily on some classics. There was nonfiction, which I'm struggling to read the nonfiction, and fiction. Some of them were rereads, some of them were series that I just wanted to get to again, and so I'm going to do a few that are on that list. I have And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I keep putting this on my TBR because I enjoy murder mystery and I really want to read it. Summer's kind of probably a good time for it. Philosophy of Education is one I'm still trying to read. It is the last Charlotte Mason volume that I haven't read, and I love her work. I love reading it. This one makes it hard to take notes and highlight and things while I'm reading, which is what I need to do. Also on my 40 by 40 are some books that go along with some of my other challenges later, including rereading Out of the Silent Planet. I read it a few years ago and really did not like it, but people are saying it's really good. So I want to reread it because there were parts that I liked and I don't really remember it well. I think I was like postpartum or just really pregnant when I read it, and I didn't love it. So I'm going to give it another shot because I did audio and I think maybe I need to just pick it up and read it. Also, I'm continuing the Narnia series. Last month I read Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and so I'm doing publication order, not chronological order, whatever I think is what I'm doing. Anyways, so I'm going to go back and read The Magician's Nephew, which takes place before Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. And so those are also going to be part of you're okay. They're going to be part of another challenge I'm doing this summer. And then let's see here. So Shelley Swearingen and several others, Gloria Z. Thompson, Melinda, Beautiful Mind. I can't remember all their names. Wait, maybe I have it on the other page. Yes, I do. Charlotte at Coiny Reads and Brittany at Literarily Smitten all are doing a historical readathon. I love historical fiction reading, so definitely going to join in that. And so they have 5 different prompts, and so I have what I think are going to be my books, so don't hold me to it. So I got this. This is called Becoming Mrs. Lewis, because I'm doing like a whole C.S. Lewis month. And I saw this, and prompt 1 is from Shelley at Shelley Swearingen, and she said to read a book about a real person, a historical fiction about a real person. So Becoming Mrs. Lewis about C.S. Lewis's wife is first up. Then something that takes place in the arts, and of course that one is on the bottom, and I don't remember. I think this one's from Coiny Reads. And I found this middle grade Michael Purgo, the Mozart question, and it talks about sort of the orchestras and musicians that the Nazis quelled out of their Jewish captives and had them form orchestras and play for them. And so I was going to read this also as a pre-read for my kids for school next year, but it sounds very interesting. It's a very short read, so this with lots of pictures as well. I like Michael Pergo. I really enjoyed his writing, so I think this will be a good arts read. It is a middle grade, but I don't care. Then I'm going to read, the next prompt was alternate history, and that was by, who said that? Melinda at Web of Stories. And I'm going to read The Calculating Stars. I don't have it with me. I'm going to try to get it from the library. Same for alternate history, but I think I'm going to do The Calculating Stars, which is a reimagining of some of the Cold War era, and it's got a kind of science-y vibe to it. So I'm excited for that. Then for dual history, again, I have two options. I'm either going to read Kristen Hanna, Winter Garden, follows, is in Leningrad in 1941 and then again in 2000. And so I'm tempted to read that one. But then I also saw All the Broken Places by John Boyne, or Boyna, I don't know how you say it, about a woman who must confront the sins of her own terrible past and present, in which it is never too late for bravery. It sounds really interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to decide between those two for my dual history. There are so many different dual histories, and I would love to read all of them, but I can't. And then, whoops, we're losing it now. Then for my event, I'm going to read another Jennifer Chiaverini. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Switchboard Soldiers, a novel of the heroic women who served in the U.S. Army during World War I. And so the event is World War I, but it's specifically talking about the women who work the switchboards there. And so I'm excited to read that. I think I mentioned in another video, my grandmother was a switchboard operator in her small town. Not during the war. She wasn't alive during World War I. But she always made telephone switchboards seem really interesting. And so I think that will be interesting. I really love the last one I read from her, The Canary Girls. So that's what I'm going to do for Read Historical Fiction, which is the hashtag. And then there's several ladies doing that. Then I'm going to join in also with Krista at Books and Jams. She's reading the Sabaa Tahir series. I don't know if the series is called, but An Ember in the Ashes. So I'm going to read book one, and I'm excited to read that. I love some science fiction. So it's Under the Martial Empire, Defiance is met with death. Leia and her family do not challenge the Empire. They've seen what happens to those who do. But when Leia's brother is arrested for treason, she is forced to make a decision. In exchange for help from rebels who promise to rescue her brother, she will risk her life to spy for them from within the Empire's greatest military academy. So yeah, got a little science fiction going on here. It just sounds really interesting to me. Sounds like it'll be fun. I may not finish it in June because I've got quite a pile here going, but I'm going to try to read through that. She has a June, July, August, and September. I think there's 4. And so we'll try to get up with that. And then that ties in exactly into Sue Jackson doing the Big Book Summer. And I'm so excited. It started Memorial Day. Already done 2. I've been like, whew, it's been a week. And so that would count for that. And several of these others will count towards Big Book Summer. And then I'm also going to finally dive into my very first adult Brandon Sanderson. I read Trust of the Emerald Isle. Loved it. And then we had a friend recommend this middle grade, Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians, and I started it a couple nights ago, and it's hilarious. I'm loving it. I just fell asleep reading it though last night because I was so tired. So I'm gonna have those. And then June's crazy. So Spread Book Joy, Jack from Spread Book Joy is doing Joy Reading June in memory of her friend Alice. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm really going to read for joy. I am embracing the not reading if I don't like it, and kind of mood reading, DNFing if it's no good. And so I'm going to kind of keep that in mind in honor of Alice, just making this month a month of really reading for joy. And so if you want to check out that challenge, go ahead and check out Jack at Spread Book Joy. And finally, I'm turning this into a summer prompt from Luminous Libro. Kaylee is doing June Journey with the Inklings, and I cannot do it all in June. That's just not gonna happen, but I would love to do it for the summer. And so her very first one is she has like 8 prompts, and they'll have these cute little headings, and she has a map you can print out. I'm loving it. I'm just gonna tell you what the prompts mean. I don't have the printout of what each one, she has a cute description. The first one is something like find a wise old sage or something, and it's reading the Bible. So I'm going to be joining Chantel Reads All Day in trying to read the Bible in 90 days this summer. So that's that. Then you're supposed to read a nonfiction by an inkling, and I have quite the C.S. Lewis. These are all on my 40 by 40 as well. So I'm going to try to read those. I'm going to start with Mere Christianity, and then I may move to A Grief Observed because I lost my dad about 1.5 years ago, and that's still pretty raw. And so may move to that. And then a fiction inkling, like I said, Magician's Nephew and Out of Silent Planet are on my list. And then new to me inkling, all of those C.S. Lewis's are brand new to me, not the nonfiction. I haven't read any C.S. Lewis nonfiction except a couple essays here and there. So I'm going to read those. Poetry by inklings, I'm hoping to get the Tolkien Reader and read a few of his poems in there because they follow, what's his name, Bombadil or something like that. And so I think that sounds interesting, but also poems by C.S. Lewis is like very interesting and calling my name. So we'll see where I go with that. Then the sixth one is book influenced by the inklings, or one that influenced them. And I watched some of Kaylee's videos for that, and she said that they mentioned P.G. Wodehouse was somebody they had read and enjoyed, and I forget which one, if it was Tolkien, or it seems like that would be more Lewis than Tolkien. And I actually have some Wodehouse coming because I have my oldest diving into the Mr. Jeeves series this fall, and so I was gonna reread My Man Jeeves. I love it. It's great, it's light, it's funny. I need that from time to time. So P.G. Wodehouse is one that's influenced by them. And then I've had one that's been sitting on my shelf, and I've started it several times and never finished. It's At the Back of the North Wind by MacDonald. So I might read that this summer as well. Screen adaptations, I'm not even going to put one there because I know I'm going to find something and read it, watch it. I may choose a documentary actually, but just watch something about or from the inklings. I have Narnia, I have all the Lord of the Rings, I could put all those in. We'll see. I don't know where I'm going. Is there a movie about Out of the Silent Planet? Maybe that would draw me into the book more. Actually, it probably wouldn't, because it'd probably be really old. And then the last one is a book about the inklings, and I have on my 40 by 40, and it's coming in the mail this week, A Hobbit, a Wardrobe, and a Great War. And this is like covering all the bases because it's things I'm interested in first and foremost, because I love Lewis and Tolkien. The Great War is something that we are studying in the first 6 weeks of school for my homeschool kids, and it's on my 40 by 40. So I'm really excited to read that, and I'm pretty sure it'll count as a big book for Big Book Summer. So it's just like covering all the bases. So that is a huge TBR for June. I don't know that I'll get to all that because, you know, life and Vacation Bible School, which I coordinate for our church, is coming up, and I have all these different things, but I am working on trying to make that. I need to find a good outside place to sit with her and read at the same time and not kill my back. So then I think I would be able to get through a lot more. But anyways, that's what I have slated for kind of June, kind of the summer, the kind of blending together this month. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you have any tips, if you're like, you're not gonna like that one at all. Let me know, like, if there's something I mentioned that I haven't read and you're like, that has a lot of spice, you're not gonna like it. Let me know. It would be a good heads up. The other thing I'm doing for the summer is summer bingo. And now I can't think of who is doing summer bingo. Oh no. I'll tag her below. But I have summer bingo here that I printed out, and I'm just gonna mark them off as I go. Oh my goodness, why can I not think of her name? It's Beautiful Minutia. Again, I cannot think of her name. I'm so sorry. She's new to me. I just found her, and we are like kindred spirits just from me watching a few of her videos. And so I'm excited to join in her summer book bingo. I might even give this to my kids because they totally could do this kind of bingo, and our library one is off the charts crazy. But yeah, so I'm excited to join in all these different readings. If you, like I said, if you have a comment, let me know, and leave a comment below. If you made it to the end of this video, put down in the comments what you hope to read this summer, and that would be great. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.